Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and we're here in Chamonix, France, with David Laney, and it's the day before the 2017 Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc. David Laney, back in Chamonix.
Yeah, good to be back, as always.
What does bring you back to a race like this? You've podiumed once, you've finished fourth once, you've had, I don't know, what looks like from the outside looking in, like damn fine races. What brings you back?
Yeah, I think there was a little question in my mind this spring what I wanted to do, and if I wanted to do something like a really long FKT or, come back here or do something kind of different. But in the end, I think after seeing the field that was assembled and kind of like how historic this race is going to be, something I didn't want to miss out on, I wanted to be a part of. And then it's just like, it's Chamonix, like these mountains are really incredible, and it's a really fun place to be. And there's not many races where it is, even 100 miles, where you really get that experience and the energy from the crowd like you do here, which lets you do things that you normally couldn't do.
So, looking back on your two performances here, what sort of memories, do you bring, good memories, do you bring to this race? And then what sort of things, have you learned the hard way that you bring also to this race?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think the hardest thing learning was, just getting used to the relentless descents and then straight back into a climb. It's not like it's a descent and then you get some flat and kind of get your legs back to normal. It's just straight down and then shoots straight back up. And so that's a lot what I focused on training this year, especially. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those really long climbs and long descents, and at the right grade, can be a difficult thing to find in North America.
Yeah.
Where'd you find that? Where'd you train?
Yeah, I was in the North Cascades a lot. So Leavenworth and that Alpine Lakes Wilderness.
Okay.
I was in Bellingham a little bit, which has really steep trails that are technical, which is really fun. I think that's a great spot. I was in the Steens Mountains briefly, again, working a running camp there.
Okay. And all that stuff is not, because the UTMB course is really unique in that it has moments of technicality, but generally it's very steep and not,
Yeah, there's definitely sections that are technical, but overall, it's steep runnable.
Yeah.
So running, it beats up the quads a different way for sure. Yeah.
So walk us through what you have been doing since your race here last year. I think that was the definitive end of season for you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think focusing on my mustache growth was the primary goal.
Super critical. It's looking good, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's my primary. That's what I wanted to hear. Let's see. What else am I doing?
Do you still live out of your car?
I do.
Awesome.
Yes, that is correct. Maybe not anymore after this.
Really?
We'll see.
Okay.
Rent's really expensive, so my hopes may not meet my needs. But yeah, I'm still living out of the car.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been good though. It's been okay.
And maybe you had a little injury or niggle of an injury over the winter?
Yeah, I had a weird thing in my shin. I took a good amount of time off. And it did get better, but I have to kind of keep on it definitely. It hasn't totally gone away, but luckily it doesn't affect my training right now. I just kind of just feel it. But I did take time off, and it definitely benefited. I felt great. It's amazing what a couple weeks of no running will do.
Rest?
Yeah.
Downright rest?
Yeah, for the first time in years.
So was it a bone bruise or?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I got it. I've had multiple doctors say multiple things.
Okay.
I had a bone scan, and one guy said there was a definitive fracture line, and one said there was no definitive fracture line. There's just this massive bruise, and there's this weird lump thing. I don't really know.
Okay.
But it's under control now, and if I do a few things on it, especially like ankle mobility,
Oh.
it'll be totally fine.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's okay.
A few questions about this race. You've been here now 3 times, and each year the competition has grown a little bit more, but I would say the competition took a big step up from last year to this year. And as a result of that, how do you see, I mean, this race is known for like going out fast and hard, and you've sort of made a name for yourself as not being the guy who goes out fast and hard. How do you sort of foresee things playing out in the men's group tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I don't know.
I wish I
Question
had
of
a
the
better.
day.
Yeah. You know, I think there's going to be the typical like, you know, things that go wrong for people and like rough patches and dropouts and all that. The fact is, there's instead of 10 really good guys, there's like 20 really good guys. So that'll be that'll leave 10 really good guys feeling great at Champé Lac instead of 5 or 6. So it's gonna be colder. I love the cold. I'm sure most of these guys do too. Like,
who loves hot and humid weather, right? Yeah. Well, I guess somebody does.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, there's gonna be more guys just because of the nature of the field's bigger. But I think it's gonna be pretty similar in what you see overall. The like carnage over the race.
Does it, like when you see a guy like Jim Wamsley or a guy like Zach Miller who's known for like taking the field out hot, like does that make you happy when you see that because there's more potential for somebody with a strategy like yours?
I guess. I never really. Yeah. I don't really care.
You don't?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think they're going out like. Yeah.
Jim took it out. I mean, sorry. Zach took it out, like led out the field last year, but his pace was not that far off of like the standard deviation for this race.
Right. If it was, if it was stupid, like unsustainably fast, and in some level it was because he wasn't able to sustain it, but it wasn't insane. It wasn't unintelligently fast. It was a level he thought he could maintain, and he almost did. If people were going out that fast, I'd be like, great. But I think everyone pretty much knows what they think they can, that risk they're willing to take. So yeah, either I'll probably run from the back again, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
And stalk people across Tetovant.
That's a fun section. Yeah, I love that. That last climb's like so brutal, but I mean this year it might not be that. I mean it'll be brutal either way, but without that like intense sun,
heat factor,
it could be fine. Yeah.
So you've been at this thing for a while now. You're about to get tossed a French Ritz cracker or something.
Oh boy. Merci.
You've been at this thing, this Trail Ultra thing, for a while now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I gotta just ask you, what keeps you motivated? Like, what keeps you going at this point?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was thinking about that word, like motivation, this morning, kind of. I don't know, like. Yeah, like I like going running. Like it would be something I did even if, like I would do it if no one else went running. Like I like spending time in the mountains, and I think that's what a lot of these guys are. And sometimes all this like commotion and stuff around it is what's more challenging. Like
dealing with the fray of the press conference.
Yeah, it's a little stressful. Like I'm like, okay, can I just go like put my hood on and go up the VK? So yeah, I like being alone in the mountains and I like doing something that's really hard. I think there's not very many opportunities you get in life.
Like to literally do hard things.
To do something that you don't totally know if you can, like, I think I can get around the mountain tomorrow, but I don't totally know. And like to have that like real like discomfort for a long time. Like most of the time I'm fairly like it's not that uncomfortable.
Yep.
And I think there's like a lot of benefit in doing something that you don't know if you can do and doing something that's really, really painful.
Okay.
The more of that, the better for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, may the carnage be with you tomorrow.
I appreciate it. I'll need it. Yeah.
And we'll see you out there. Good luck, Dave.
Thanks.